Neal, welcome. You produced a paper called Every Company Wants to Be a Media Company. Talk
Yes.
to me about that.
Yeah, so it's a crazy idea. In fact, many people here, I'm going to guess 85% of the people at this event would be really annoyed by this paper. So call it revolutionary in some sense. The basic premise of this paper is that a few things have happened evolutionarily, and one thing has happened revolutionary over the last few years that changes media and changes marketing. You've obviously familiar with the fact that there's a massive increase in media outlets, places to watch things, places to read things. Media consumption is at its all-time high. We also know that data privacy has become a big issue, and therefore it's much harder than ever to reach a consumer. These are the basic evolutionary pieces. The revolution of social media is that an individual content creator now commands more attention than sometimes even a singular news organization or a theatrical entity. And so what's changed is that the nature of trust and authenticity now lies in an individual content creator greater than any professional studio ever before. So marketers trying to reach a consumer have been buying advertising for decades upon decades, and it's become less effective. And what we're saying is that actually what you need to do as a marketer is no longer just simply keep buying ads or even do the old branded content or advertorial path. It's actually the goal of a company is now to create an audience using content. And by creating an audience using content, they get trust, authenticity in the same way a Mrs. Dow Jones or Mr. Beast conveys trust. And only then is it time to launch products and services to those audiences.
How do they do that? Walk me through the steps.
Well, we have a 4-point plan. I think it's very early in the development. But effectively, it starts with, not surprisingly, being very clear on who your audience is. If you're a financial services company and you want to sell mutual funds or you want to sell advice, you've got to be very clear who you're talking to. So being crisp about who your audience is the first thing. The second thing is you need a thesis for why you're going to be different. What's your voice that's going to be distinctive? What's your content you're going to be providing? So for example, if you're about retirement planning, what voice are you going to speak in about retirement planning? And the third is you've got to build a content studio. That could be as simple as hiring a series of influencers. That could be actually having scripted, filmed entertainment. And then finally, and this is the org piece, we think there should be a chief audience officer. This CAO, chief audience officer, you've got to always spell out your acronyms. Our chief audience officer brings together a lot of the capabilities that historically have been spread across different roles in a company. This chief audience officer is responsible for connecting the who with the what, and in this case, the how, to content.
Neal, I'm curious, how do you see the relationship between brands and content creators go in the future?
So I actually think the content creators are tied to the brands, that in a future scenario, I don't want to talk about specific examples, but in a future world, if you're making cereal, for example, before you're even worrying about what's the next flake you're going to make or what's the next, savory flavor you're going to put in there, you're actually talking to the consumers about breakfast, and you're talking about how they get through the day and what kind of energy they need. And they're not necessarily celebrities when they start, but they become known quantities over time. And so the brand actually is known for the audience it's built. And the audience is tied to the brand, and it's no longer that the product is the first thing and the content maybe comes later. The content comes first with the audience and then the product later.
Yeah, fascinating. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.